Today we are going to have a first class. Odia or English comfortable? Both comfortable, right? So I'll try to speak in English more, Odia less. Odia medium रे क्या attempt करो चुके? Anybody? No. Online? Anybody from Odia medium background? All right. Okay, no problem. So let us discuss first agenda today. What we are going to do in today's interview guidance class. Okay, all right. So students, I could see there are many are in online mode, and those who are in offline they have also joined online. Anyways, so that is a good thing about flexibility. So online students, whenever you have any kind of doubt, there is a raise hand option. You can raise hand, as well as there is a message option. You can also type. Okay. So the mode of the program, let's try to have a brief about it, how we are going to continue this program. Now, primarily interview guidance program. Interview guidance means we are talking about the Odisha Public Service Commission OPSC OCS 2023 notifications. That is the interview uh, going to be held in 2025, isn't it? So almost like approximately 2 years of time period of gap. So what we will do in this particular interview guidance program, there are a couple of things which we have to understand. When we talk about interview, this term is nowhere mentioned in the syllabus. Is it mentioned? No. What it is mentioned about? Personality test. Personality test. So all of these classes should be treated as a personality test. Previous batch also we conducted this interview guidance program. Last batch it was completely free of cost, although significant amount of time and energy we invested. This year we have kept a very nominal fee only for the time and energy which other faculties are also going to teach the dedicated current affairs. So that's the only reason. Otherwise, I was in a mindset that I will make it completely free of cost. But then I realized that if everything is free, then perhaps some people they do not value. And last time also, there are a couple of suggestions from students itself, sir, why you did not charge a nominal fee. Then I thought that okay, it's not a bad idea, and since other faculties are also going to teach. So what we are going to do, it has primarily the three stages. Okay, let me just open couple of documents. I'll explain. Please come. Yeah, I think this one. See, so these are the three stages in which we are going to conduct the entire program. What are the three stages? Stage number one, it will be primarily pre-mock guidance and training, interview specific current affairs and GS classes, and there will be a dedicated book. I'll show you the book later on. So we have in Rayacademy, we have created this the final stage Odisha Civil Services interview, the essential guide. I'll show you the glimpse of it. Okay, anyways. This is the book. This book. Okay, this is approximately 60 pages approximately. So this book contains everything you need theoretical, all the information that you need theoretical for the Odisha Civil Services examination point of view, I would say. I'll just show you the content of the index page. For example, in the index page, you have what is the board's requirement, how a candidate should be ready, what are the questions from educational qualification and background, from work experience, what kind of questions can be asked, from sports, hobbies, and extracurricular activities. If you have special achievement, what kind of questions they will be asking from optional subject, ethics, case studies, and situation based questions. What should be the role of a civil servant? Service preference, if somebody has given, normally everybody keeps OAS as the first, but there are few exceptions also. I have seen last time, so they have kept ORS, revenue service, in the first, or somebody, I still recall OPS was not there in the previous one. This time there is OPS. I see two students, I could see last time they put OTAS in the first. They basically got misguided by some people, so they kept OTAS, taxation and account service. Then yeah, from your district, what kind of questions will become? From Odisha overall, I would say some of the important famous personalities, general studies questions, current affairs questions. What should be the dress code, body language, communication skills, and more? Feeling nervous, underconfident, what should you do? Some of the questions, OPSC real interview questions that has been asked in the interview, and how to face the interview. So this is approximately, I would say, 50 to 60 pages approximately book, and you could see it's a very crisp and to the point. It's like a making a time pass and reading page by page, just 1 or 2 pages per day. You could complete easily. All right, so I'll be giving this book, this in your application itself, so that you can read it and you can go by it. Now, since you have noticed that I have told categorically that this book will give you theoretical knowledge. Okay, I'll tell you. Let us complete the stages first. First, we are going to discuss about these things. Okay, and whatever the payment structure, like I think how much is the 400 rupees or 450 rupees, I guess. Anyways, maybe nominal fees which we have kept, that is only for the stage one. Reason being, I am going to take certain personality development classes, but there will be more classes on the current affairs based. Let's say general studies current affairs, geography current affairs. So different faculties are going to teach. Stage number 2 and stage number 3 are completely free of cost. What is stage number 2? The one-on-one CIF and DAF analysis that I am going to take personally. Every year I have been taking. That's completely free of cost. And the third stage is the panel based mock interview. Okay, last time we had a panel based mock interview. Some senior bureaucrats were there, some former DGP retired officers were there, some professors were there, so they are going to guide this particular stage. Now, why these three stages? Because your mains result is not being announced. I would expect that everyone qualify, but let us be realistic. Many of you would qualify and few of you may not also qualify. So since this is the stage one, it is going to help you in many of the cases. Okay, even if you qualify or do not qualify, this stage one will help you. How? Because significant classes of the current affairs, as well as it will help you to prepare and shape your personality. Okay, now how, like all of you have joined in the beginning of the stages, how is someone going to be benefited? I'll tell you. Last year we had registrations more than 900 to approximately 1000 registrations, approximately, only for the interview guidance. Okay, and we respectfully denied that we could not do the mock interviews. The reason is the complete time period we were so packed since the morning 10 a.m. and till the evening 8 a.m. 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. in the evening. So that used to be our hectic schedule each and every day, continuously, including Sunday. So we respectfully denied that, sorry, this time it is not possible on our behalf to give you the mock interview. So the students who have registered earlier, they will be getting the priority, like all of you. Once you happen to qualify the stages, main stages, before declaration of the result. Okay, so that's the reason, because we have believed in one thing. It's not about quantity. Interview guidance is not about quantity. Okay, uh, if we would have in a result mindset that okay, number of students will come, then we will announce the result, that is not the mindset at all. Otherwise, because in the one-to-one interview now also I am doing for the Odisha Forest Service, so it is taking a lot of time, approximately 30 minutes time, and sometimes what happens when students ask a lot of questions, then it may go up to like 45 minutes of time also, only to analyze the CIF and tell them what kind of questions will be asked and not. So from that point of view, I feel that like all of you, I wish that you qualify the stages of mains, and once you get into the interview final list, you'll be getting the priority related to the mock interviews. Anyways, so this is the overall idea. So stage one, we will complete the stage one process till your mains exam result is announced. After the mains examination is announced, then we will start the stage 2 and stage 3. So that is the normal program after your mains exam result, I would say. Before the mains result, we are going to conduct all of these things. Okay, I'll show you some of the glimpse last year. Like this is Pragya. She's having a one-to-one CIF analysis. Then these are certain the previous year panel member. I'll not specifically name, because in our panel members, some of the members are already, they were member of OPSC interview board members. Okay, so I am not allowed to give the or announce the name, but you have to understand they will give you the right guidance and right insight. It's not like how I everything can be asked. What is your name? Introduce yourself. Generally in OPSC they never ask a question. Introduce yourself. So these are certain the panel members. Last year, a few of the panel members you could see they have already qualified. She is also qualified. You could see that Praharaj sir was there. He was the longest serving DGP of Odisha. So these are certain glimpses of previous. These are certain testimonials, feedback related to mock interviews, related to the CIF analysis. So why I am showing all of this? To make you sure that you should be absolutely confident and trustful that you are in a safe hand. Whatever we are going to guide you here, either me or any other faculty members or the panel members, would be only with one objective, that you qualify the final stage. So that should be our only objective. Sometimes what happens, our feedbacks are critical. Normally in institutions, they generally do not make people feel in a negative way. We also do not do that, but it is our duty to give you the right feedback. What is the meaning of right feedback? Right feedback means not to make you happy. If you have lacuna in something, then it is our duty to tell you that what, where and how can you improvise that particular lacuna. Okay, so that is all about the program and how we are going to conduct the program in due course of time. Now, so let us first discuss about the term personality test. What exactly do you understand by personality test, or personality means what? Yes, if I say this is your personality means what? Please go on though. Hmm. Mhm. Hmm. Mhm. Personality. Okay. Anything else? Online students, ଆପଣ ଯେଉଁମାନେ ବି ଅଛନ୍ତି ମେସେଜ କରିପାରିବେ. ଓକେ, ଇଂଲିଶ ନହେଲେ ଓଡ଼ିଆରେ ବି କରିପାରିବେ. ଆଇ ଏମ୍ କମ୍ଫର୍ଟେବଲ୍ ଇନ୍ ବୋଥ୍. Personality କହିଲେ ଆପଣ କ'ଣ ବୁଝନ୍ତି? What do you understand by personality? How do you describe your personality? Hmm. Hmm. Okay. 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 If next question I would ask that please describe your personality in one sentence. Can you do that? Yes, please try. Hmm. Okay. That is your personality. And what else? Hmm. Hmm. Okay. All right. Now let us understand. See, OPSC has given you a syllabus for the interview also. So they have already explained what exactly means by the term personality. Look. So the syllabus is the candidate will be interviewed by a board who will have before them a record of his career. And that is nothing but you called a CIF form. Okay, candidate information form or new biodata form, whatever you call it, the CIF form. In UPSC you call it the DAF, but in OPSC you call it a CIF, candidate information form, record of the career. That means interview board member, they have only this particular form. They do not know your name, not your place, not your family background. What they have is only that form. Later stage we will understand. Okay, step by step. Because interview is not about, many of times what happens when I speak to the, especially the students after qualifying mains or maybe you have given the examinations, you may have in your mindset that all of a sudden sir will talk about how to fill up the CIA form, how to be ready for the interview. And let me be very clear, that is the first wrong step that majority of the aspirants do. At this stage, you should not focus on how to fill up the TAF or CIF. That is not at all your priority. At this stage, you should not focus on how to be ready for the interview. So tell me something that how can I sit in front of the interview board member and how can I answer the questions what they ask? To reach to that level, we have to train ourselves. And the stage number one is primarily meant for to make you ready so that you can appear before the panel. Okay. Now he or she will be asked on questions matters of general interest. Matters related to general interest. Nowhere they have mentioned that they are going to ask you some academic questions or subject matter question. It is a general interest. General interest can be current affairs based. General interest can be maybe particularly certain issues or whatever is the interest or that is happening in and around. The objective of the interview is to assess the personality suitability of the candidate for a career in public service by the board of competent and unbiased observers. What is the objective? Objective is to test you. Are you fit to become a civil servant? So that is the only objective of the board member. Means here it is completely clear to all of us that they are not going to ask you or they are not going to test your knowledge. They are testing, are you the right candidate for the service or not? So this we have to keep in our mind. That further says that if you feel that you have lack of knowledge, it's okay. Because here it is not knowledge test, it is a test of your personality. Further, it has been written, the test is intended to judge. To what judge? Mental caliber. They are going to judge your mental caliber. In board terms, this is really an assessment of not only intellectual qualities but also social traits and interest in current affairs. They are going to test your mental caliber. They are also going to test your intellectual quality. What do you mean by intellectual quality? Intellectual quality means how well you can analyze an issue and reach to a possible conclusion. Of course, we cannot reach to a conclusion. We are not officers, but close to the conclusion. Mental caliber means they are going to put you under pressure and will check, are you able to handle the pressure or not? That is mental caliber. Intellectual qualities. Social traits. Why social traits is important? Because ultimately you are going to do public service for social cause. So if your inclination is not social, rather commercial, then at later stage we can see all in the media related to the vigilance, a lot of corruptions are happening. And interest in the current affairs. If you are not interested in current affairs, how can you be in the civil service? If you do not know what is happening in and around you, how can you give a suggestion? That's not possible. Some of the qualities to be judged: mental alertness. Are you focused or not? Are you alert or not? Mental alertness. Okay, how well your brain functions if there is certain situations. It may happen if some emergency all of a sudden come. Emergency never comes knocking the door. They will come all of a sudden. How are you reacting to that situation? Critical powers of assimilation, clear and logical exposition. Okay, the kind of word which you are using or the kind of solutions you are suggesting, do they have certain logic, or are you just telling from hypothetically or ideologically? So they are looking for logical, they are looking for solution based. There should be a balance of judgment. Every actions do have certain positive and negative consequences. Every actions in your personal life, maybe in your professional life in future. But how do you minimize the negative and maximize the positive? Getting my point? It cannot be 50-50. It can never be 50-50. Always what we try to minimize the damage and maximize the benefit out of it. That is called as balance of judgment. Balance of judgment does not mean 50-50. 50 positive and 50 negative, that is ideological aspect. Then variety and depth of interest. Variety and depth of interest. Ability for social cohesion, leadership, intellectual and moral integrity. You should have the ability for social cohesion and leadership. Ultimately, you are going to lead at certain point of time. Maybe you are district collector or maybe a BDO. Once you are officer, then under you there will be hundreds of officers working under you. So if you do not possess the leadership trait, how can you command in a positive way? How can you command and how can you make them work the way you want? So that is the things they are going to test. Many times what happens that we certain confuse that what is personality test, what is interview. They have already given you the syllabus. Now it is our duty to basically prepare ourselves based on these parameters. Are you clear? Okay. Now, so having said so, I have told as per the syllabus what a candidate should possess. Now let us try and understand the mistakes done by the candidates. First, we will discuss about the mistakes. Since many years I have been discussing with candidates, talking to them, interacting with their personalities. I have seen varieties of people. Some people are absolutely brilliant in their career, and some are not brilliant, they are average, but they are very good in personality. Of course, I cannot name all of a sudden about the candidate, but I have many examples some students are gold medalists. Last year there was a student from, I think, IIT Kanpur, gold medalist. Then IISc Bangalore, masters, I guess, or masters or something he was doing. Then he also worked in McKinsey, I guess. Yeah, but he's brilliant in terms of knowledge. You ask a question, what is this and that, all of a sudden the answer will come. But you put into a situation, suppose this is the situation, if you are a BDO, there is a strike going on, how do you resolve it? Fail to answer. Okay, so the biggest mistake, I would say, that people or the candidate at your level, you go for content. That is the biggest mistake that you should avoid. Okay, normally what you currently focus, what questions I should prepare. This is also a biggest mistake of candidates. You will realize later on. Maybe you may not be at that stage to realize, because this is the first class. So it is my duty to warn you that if you are focusing on content and content and content, you are wrong, my dear. If you are focusing on, sir, give me some questions I should prepare. And what do I mean by questions? Questions means on general studies. You start preparing for general studies, GS 1, 2, 3, 4, and all of the subjects within that: history, geography, polity, economy, Odisha history, Odisha geography, ethics, etc. You start preparing about it. Then you also start preparing about the current affairs. Do not do it. That is not your priority. Okay. So normally what we think, that I should prepare for the interview, and what should I prepare for interview? I should prepare on what questions will be asked. We have been trained in such a way, because prelim there is a syllabus and mains there is a syllabus. How have you prepared for mains? By looking at the PYQs, by looking at your subject. Okay, this is the subject, this is polity or geography or history, and this type of questions may be asked, so let me mug up the facts. But interview is not about what. Interview is all about how. So what rather you should prepare, how can I answer? Not what to answer. So there is a huge difference between what and how. Here also we are going to give you the classes. Classes on the current affairs. Generally, how do you prepare a current affairs class or any current affairs? Any topic you pick up. Let's take an international relations. Since it is not in your syllabus, but in interview they may be asking questions on international relations. All of a sudden, if they ask you questions, what do you think about this Israel and Iran fighting? You have mugged up. What have you mugged up? When Iran started this uranium enrichment, what is the level of enrichment? At 75%, 85%, who is the leader? Okay, you have marked up the history, geography, entire thing about the Iran Israel conflict. US came, what is India's position? You already know the fact. There is no doubt about it. But the question is not about what. Question is asking your opinion. What do you think about it? So in interview, you are not supposed to give them information. that you usually learn in classes. In classes, what happens in majority of the current affairs classes which I have seen, they tell you the informations. But interview is not about information. Interview is not about what. It is about how do you present that information. Do you know it or not? You have the informations. How do you present it? That is the skill you need to prepare for yourself. That is personality trait. And majority aspirants, they are in a rat race to understand and to gain more information. And they fail to understand the most important attribute of personality is how do you present that information in front of the board. Because in front of the board, you are not telling them how much knowledge do you have. In front of the board, you are proving yourself that look, I am the better candidate compared to others, so take me. And how do you prove yourself? You can only prove yourself a better candidate not by giving information, but by telling them how, why, your caliber, your logical reasoning, your decision making capabilities. And that cannot be coming out of just information. It should be how do you present that information. Majority times we fail to understand this very simple thing. Till your mains examination, you will be mugging up, the facts and figures and facts and figures, but that should not the end objective. Of course, if you do not have an information, how do you present it? So before how, it is essential what. But I feel you are at the stage, since you qualified prelims and mains, this should not be the question, because already you know what, you know the informations. So in this IGP program, interview guidance program, my duty along with my other colleagues, we will tell you how do you present that information, not what information. If you have data, if you have, let's say for example, let me take up a topic. So there is a recent unfortunate incident happened in Puri. 3 people died, stampede like situations. If this question is asked to you, if you are the, let's say, authority or district administrations, how do you handle, what will be your solution? You my point? Question is not about how many died. So they will give you a brief context, and the further question will be how do you handle it. Then you are cold completely because you never prepared on how, you always prepared on what. Are you clear? Yes, any doubt? Now, did you understand the mistakes? So these are the major 2 mistakes which I have find many of the aspirants they do before the interview, and because of that what happens, they flumble before the board. They feel underconfident because they never prepared for this aspect. They always feel underconfident. You will be feeling under pressure. You will be cold completely before the board. And interview is all about not the board members. I always tell to the students, it is all about you. In interview, remember, you are the driver, not them. They are the passengers. So the moment you drive the vehicle and make the board member as passenger, then only you can win the interview. If it is other way around, then you are going to get less mark. I'll give you one incident. Normally, they are also human beings. There will be 3 members in front of you. One of the member will be board member of OPSC, and 2 members will be experts. We will talk a lot of things. There are so many classes we are going to do. I also give you a lot of insights. I do have a document, although I cannot show you directly, but I'll give you the glimpse. So there are certain instructions to the board members. This is the syllabus which I have shown you, only for the candidate, but also for the board members. There is a clear-cut instruction. Approximately 20-page instruction is there. How do they mark a candidate? What they should look and what they should avoid. So there is a clear-cut instructions for the board members. We will talk about later on those things. It's not the today is the first class, so I think we should be precise. So there was a candidate last time, I would say. Last time he got into ORS. Just I think one rank sort of OAS got into ORS this time. But previous time also he went to interview, and all of a sudden it was around, I think he was the second last candidate. They are also human beings, board member. They are completely exhausted. So they are also fed up with same question. Why do you want to become civil service? I want to serve my nation. I want to serve the society. So and so. So they are completely fed up. So so there was a moment. What happened? The candidate enter, and one of the board member washed the face and just came in. Okay, tell me what should I ask you? That was the question. Tell me what should I ask you? The candidate told, okay, sir, you can ask as you like. So he asked something different, which is not related to CIF. And that time he did not get into service. What did I say? The moment you give the command to the board member, you are losing the interview. So your objective, you should be in a driver. Probably the intention of asking this question, tell me what should I ask you, the candidate could have narrowed down. Okay, I have these are my optionals, these are my hobbies. So if you feel, you can ask me questions from this and this. So that is called as sitting in the driver's seat, controlling the interview, not the other way around. Getting my point? And this cannot happen only by mugging up the facts and information and having only current affairs classes. So next is students, regarding the how part, how to answer. Let us go deep into it. Now, when I talk about how to answer, there are two things please keep in mind. You have already qualified mains, oh sorry, I mean you are about to qualify the mains, but you know how to answer in mains. And there is also another personality test, how to answer. But these how to answers are different. Generally in OPSC, what happens, especially the GS subject, how do you answer? There is an IBC format, intro, body, conclusion. In intro, you write one or two sentences. In conclusion, you write one or two sentences. In body part, you write bullet point wise. Means your brain has been trained like this way only. If you are a first timer, probably less training. But if you have been giving the mains examination repeated time, then you have been training your brain for last 2 to 3 years that give answer in this format. Forget about intro and conclusion. Most important part is the body part. That means your brain will function to give point on bullet points only. Now, one of the major problems what happens with aspirants, they are confident in writing, but they are very poor in communicating. Remember, all of you have given mains. I have no doubt about your knowledge. But if I ask you a particular question, explain this in 2 to 3 minutes, you'll be failed to answer. But if I give you a pen and paper and ask you, please write down the answer in 2 to 3 minutes, you are expert. You can write down completely. But when it is coming to speaking the same thing, you fail to comprehend what do I speak, how do I speak. Then you become more conscious. Should I speak in English? Should I speak in Odia? Or should I mix both the things? How do I start? Where do I start? How do I conclude? Should I say this one? Should I give this information? What if this information is wrong? All of this conscious about your personality, then you start questioning about, I'm not confident enough to answer this question. So there comes the biggest problem, especially your stage, that you are very good in writing, but you are not so good in communicating. Although exceptions are everywhere, maybe few students will be very good in communicating. I'm not, when I'm talking about communication, I'm not talking about fluency in English or Odia. ମୁଁ ସେଇ କଥା ବିଲକୁଲ ବି କହୁନି. Communication means what? Communications means your ability to explain something to another person in a simplest way. In a simplest way. So communication here means also the audience. Okay, let's understand. In front of you, if there are school children, you are asked to explain a topic. Will you communicate in the same way, the way you communicate in this classroom? Of course not. That means you have to level down so that the audience can understand. Yes or no? Yes. If you are speaking with aspirants to aspirants, then your level of communication will be that only. Let's say somebody is not preparing for civil service, and with that person you are engaging a communication, you are engaging with an argument or maybe discussion. You are not going to discuss in the same manner the way you do with the aspirants, because the wavelength will not match at all. So you have to either downgrade. Let's say you are maybe discussing with a expert, then you have to level up your communication. So when we communicate, again, the one of the most important factor which we miss is listen. We have a habit not to listen. So if I compare with the mains examinations, many aspirants I have seen, they have a habit of not reading the question properly. They only read the key term and they start writing the answer. And you complain that, sir, I could not get good marks. Here also, you don't listen to the question and you start giving your answers. Do you understand the bow and arrow concept? The bow and arrow concept? What is this bow and arrow concept? The more you pull up the string, the far you can throw the arrow. So sometimes in order to do good things or to give your caliber, you need to be in a back foot. So listening is the back foot. If you don't listen, if you do not give time to listen to board members, then the moment they ask questions and you start answering, then I can say that you may not be giving them good impression. First, you have to understand what exactly they are asking. Remember, it is not the question, it is the intention. One example I gave you, that tell me from where do I ask questions, or what do I ask, or what kind of questions do I ask. It is not about the question, it is about understanding the environment, their intention, because they are human being, not robots. It's not a question paper where the question is written. Written question and verbal questions has a lot of differences. You have to understand, judge the tone of the board member. Are they asking you soft, or are they asking you to under the pressure? Are they trying to grill you? Same question can be also asked in multiple different intentions. So you have to understand the intentions and please the board member. Clear? Okay. So in a nutshell, what we understand here in the interview guidance, we will focus more on how do I answer these questions, not what questions. How do I answer this? So my job and the team members' job is to make you ready for that. Once you are ready at that level, okay, at least you are able to answer to someone, then in front of the board member, whatever is the fine tuning required, that can happen. We have seen many last year also, it happens in many of the things because probably they are not guided properly. So they come all of a sudden in front of the board member and they are not prepared at all. And in the feedback session, when we ask them, were you prepared for the mock interview? No, sir, I wanted to just give a mock interview just to see how do I perform. That's not the way. When you come to the mock interview, you should be prepared. Without preparation, if you are sitting in front of the mock interview, then you are wasting your time and board members' time also. Because board members' efficacy, their energy, you need to get the best out of it. And when do you get the best out of it? When you give the best out of it. You have prepared well, you have done everything, then you come in front of the mock interview board members, then you seek advice. Okay, I have prepared so and so, and please help me. Where do I improve my personalities? Okay, are you clear? So these are the things we need to focus on the communication part. Now, here there will be a dedicated, I would say, a consultant, an expert in communication. Uh, we have a member, so she is going to guide you in communication part. How do you communicate? She is not going to teach you the any subject, rather the real communication part. If this question comes, how do you respond to the particular question? Okay. Now, when we talk about the personality, first thing we came to understand is to achieve how, means it is about the communication part or the presentation. So a lot of things that goes behind the presentation part. Remember, I'll share one incident. Last time there was a person, uh, I think NIT Raukla person probably. Last three times the person has been going to the interview but not able to qualify. And with that he has also done a lot of things, extracurricular activity. He has a lot of things. NIT Raukla MTech, I guess. In the mock interview, we found the person has written one particular, what do I say, hobby. There is a mention of the hobby is uh, hobby was walking on the river shore, enjoying the nature. That was the hobby. Okay, so last 4 years, the person is unemployed, doesn't have any extracurricular activity. Before 4 years, before starting the preparation, a lot of extracurricular activity, NGO, etc., etc. But the day or the moment when person started for the this preparation phase, no extracurricular activity. So we kept on emphasizing this is not sufficient. When you have a gap 3 to 4 years, generally they do not like. But if a student has a gap of 3 to 4 years, there has to be certain solutions. Yes, there is solution. The solution has to be based on your hobbies and extracurricular activities, or maybe certain degree of engagements. The person has written that enjoying the nature. We kept on asking, do you go to some river shore and enjoy the nature every time? Yes, sir, I do that. Why do you do so? What do you gain out of it? No reply. Brilliant career, lot of extracurricular activities, but since the preparation completely stubborn down. And this the previous year also the person could not qualify. And we identified the problem. We told that, look, this is the problem. He was not able to express himself, not at all able to express himself. And I have seen some of the students who are very, from humble background, not able to speak good English. They will communicate in Odia, but they are so beautifully explaining one topic, even though they do not know the topic. Sincerely, they will say, "I do not know." But whatever they know, they explain in such a beautiful way that you will start liking the person. There was a this the previous time qualified Asirbad, one of my student also. Uh, his story basically inspired me a lot. So Mr. Asirbad, uh, in the CIF form, when I was talking with him, he has written plus two fail in 1 year. Then later stage, he has, I think, some distance courses. Then he has covered off. In the CIF, he had mentioned the plus two, 10 plus two fail. Then we, in the mock interview, we started asking, why have you written that? So this is the real reason I have failed. Why do you have failed during that time? He replied, the family condition was not good so that he could pursue the studies. And we could realize that he is coming from a very poor background, below poverty line. And from the poor background, later stage when I saw the qualifications, he has done masters, he has also done certain library course, he has completed the MBA course. Look at the personality. From 10 plus to fail from below poverty line, he used to go for under this Manrega scheme, dig, dig up this pond and etc. That kind of work, laborer work. So after 10 plus 2, he joined some solar company in Gujarat. Now he is the deputy manager. I got such an inspiration story to understand. Not able to speak properly, but in Odia he is very good. From tribal background, lot of struggle with a family, having kids, still pursuing for this inspirations, civil service. Got into last time into the, I think, OAS yes, administrative service. Getting my point. So all of the stories why I'm telling you is to make you realize one simple thing: is knowledge is not the determining factor in the interview process. It is all about how do you communicate yourself to others. Are you clear? Okay. So now personality is all about you. And many aspirants, many candidates, we forget ourselves. We never questions. We never ask any kind of questions to ourselves. We don't do that. We discuss a lot of things about others. We talk about OPSC, we talk about some other personalities, we talk about other aspirants, we gossip about other aspirants, we gossip about toppers, what worked for them, etc., etc. But we never talked about ourselves. Believe me, personality cannot be changed overnight. I cannot change your personality. And I am not here to change your personality. Because you must be at the age at least minimum 22, 23 crossed. Although 21 years is the minimum age, but to reach to that interview, I feel 23, 24 at least crossed everybody. That means since last 20, 25 years, your personality has already been shaped by your family, by your school, by your college, by the environment, by the, I would say, the society, by the kind of struggle which you have been doing, by if you are a working professional, maybe by the work environment, your personality has already been shaped. So I cannot change the personality. No one can change your personality. You cannot change your personality all of a sudden. Then sir, what should I do? See, what is our goal? If I cannot change my personality, our goal is to show the good personality over the interview board members and is to hide the bad personalities. That is our goal. So my goal is to give a certain guidance or shape to the personality. My role is to tell you that these are the personalities would help you for the interview, and these are the personality will not help you the interview. So we are going to filter the personality here. We are not going to change the personality here and get the best out of it. So that should be our focus. Every individual, all of you have given mains examination, every individual's thinking is different. My personality, my thinking is different, maybe on same topic. And everybody, whosoever is going to give the OPS interview, everyone's thinking is different. A simple question, why do you want to become a civil servant? Everybody's questions, answers would be different. Even if they mug up, it will be detected under the tone and the intentions. Okay, so you speak your mind ultimately. How much you acquire knowledge, whatever information do you have, how do you present? You can only present the way you are. You cannot become someone else. The moment you try to become someone else, let me say in that way, this topper has answered in this way, so I should also answer in the similar way. The moment you try to become others, then probably you fail to understand your personality. Okay, so now you do not run towards informations. Try to improve your personality means what? First, identify. The first level of improving your personality is to identify. And for that, I have a task for all of you. This form, SWOT Rayacademy, this form will be uploaded in your application. Please download this particular form. It is a SWOT analysis. Okay, SWOT analysis. These are certain things, these are absolutely necessary. I have given a sample. These are the sample. I will explain that, but you should remove all of the things. There is a blank form. I will show you this one. Look at this. This is a blank form. This is your homework. Today, when you go, download this form, take a printout, and do this particular homework and submit to me. Okay, and this is going to help me to assess your personality when I'm going to have a one-to-one discussion with all of you. What is SWOT? SWOT means strength, SWOT, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Many candidate may feel sorry bakwas. It's not that. As I told, you can only improve your personality when you identify. So our job is to strengthen the strengths and work upon weakness. That should be our goal. Identify the opportunities and minimize the threats. Minimize the threats. Okay, so what is the personality we are trying to do? We are trying to, whatever strength I have, if your strength is leadership, how can you keep the leadership in front of the interview board member in every questions they ask? How can you do that so that this trait can be identified? All right, so they are not going to ask you, tell me some of the good qualities. Sir, I have leadership quality. You have to give them kind of a situation or maybe certain incident which signifies that you have a leadership quality. By telling that I am honest, I have leadership quality, I am a very good communicator, doesn't justify. Weakness, everybody has weakness. Everybody has weakness. And I'm telling you, this is not about your job interview. Normally, in what happens, do not just Google SWOT analysis. In YouTube or in website, you will be finding a lot of SWOT analysis. Okay, so what happens, especially the weakness part, they try to hide the weakness. See here, what I am requesting to all of you, do not hide anything. If you have a weakness, let's say I'm emotional, I have anger issue, I have a temperament, write it down. We are not applying for the job. We are identifying our own problem. We are identifying our own strengths. Write it down. Whatever weaknesses do you have? You have weakness in communicating in English, or you are not very good in Odia, or you cannot handle pressure. Write it down. Entire years you have given time to books. Now is the time to give to yourself. So these are few of the examples related to the SWOT analysis. Strength, these are the examples. Ability to get on with the people, that you can mix up with the people quickly. This is your one of the strength. You are hardworking, you are honest, you are attention to detail, you have analytical skills. All of these are strength. These are examples only. You should not just copy paste. Right? What exactly do you have? Weakness, for example, gain experience of dealing with the people, work abroad, work in a team. You are not able to work in a team. Okay? Or on money means opportunities. Sorry. Weaknesses, timekeeping, lack of confidence when dealing with the people. Many have this kind of trait. You are not able to speak with the people properly. Okay. No work experience related to academic studies. Lack of spreadsheet or database skills, maybe computer skills, etc. Could be a weakness. Could be a weakness, no problem. What opportunities do you have? Get an experience with dealing with the people. These are the opportunities you may find. Threats, being unsupported work, or maybe fitting into the company culture. You are trying to adjust yourself. That is one of the threat. You should be yourself instead of fitting into the culture of others. So as I mentioned that this document is extremely important to all of you. So this is the homework, a blank page. Just take a printout of this particular copy. In the blank space, write down whatever comes in your mind. You write down whatever you feel. Once you write down, what is the next phase? Maybe in coming days I'm going to have a one-to-one discussion with you. There I will keep this one to have a discussion. What we will do, we will try to streamline what strengths you should keep, what weaknesses you should avoid in front of them. That is the real meaning of personality. Okay. For example, let's say this is a common thing which I have seen, anger issue or anger management. One of the common, I would say, attribute in weakness which I have found last time also among aspirants. Many of have written that they have anger. Another one is emotional. These are the common things which I have seen. Anger issue, another one is emotional. They become emotion to a situation. And there is anger management or anger issue. Why anger? They say that, sir, if something is bad happening to me, or if I see a bad thing happening in and around, all of a sudden I get angry. And both are very bad. Both are detrimental for service. In your service, you cannot anger upon people. And in your service, you cannot be emotional. If your answers are, what can I do? I am a human being. Yes, you are a human being, but you are in a position. You are not an ordinary human being. You are representing the government and cannot be emotional. Yes, it will definitely hamper the service. You cannot take a decisions. Emotional people cannot take decisions. Remember. Yes, remember. What happens? There are certain things in our, what do I say, feelings, which you talk about it. Never take a decisions when you have in that kind of feelings. What are the feelings? When you are extremely happy. Extremely happy. When you are extremely happy, you are going to overpromise somebody. Because in happiness, we promise something that we cannot deliver. So never take a decisions when you are extremely happy. When you are sad, you are in sorrow, never take decisions. Somebody or someone from your family left you, or you lost something, or you failed in certain exam, you are very sad. Then also you are going to hamper. others. How? Because in sad situation, it is very likely you are going to break the relations with others. Because you think that I want to be alone, so you will say something that will hurt people. So never take decisions when you are sad. And also never take decisions when you are anger. When you are angry, any decisions you take in anger moment, temperament, is going to happen. It's not a good decisions at all. It will be a disastrous decisions. And also never take decisions when you feel loved. Because when you take decisions when you are in loved, could be anyone, could be animals, could be person, could be anything, nature. When you take decisions in that kind of feelings, the decisions will be always biased, because you will always take decisions in favor of the loved thing. So these are the four most extreme versions of feelings that you should always avoid to take any kind of decisions when you are happy, extremely happy, or extreme sad, or anger, or feeling loved. Yes, kind of emotions will come into it, isn't it? Okay, so we should take decisions where we are in a state of mind, when we are normal. Then you will be able to decide what is right, what is wrong. You will be able to calculate. Remember, what is our job is not to make 50-50. Cannot be possible. Always try to minimize the losses or minimize the damage and maximize the benefit or the profit. It cannot be 50-50. Okay, and this thing you can do only when you identify yourself, when you know that who you are, what is the personality do you have, what strengths do you have, what weaknesses do you have. When you identify the problem and the opportunities or the strengths, then only you can improve yourself. If you do not ask yourself this type of questions, you cannot improve yourself. Remember, our main objective is to, sir, make me ready so that I can face the interview board member. Facing the interview board member, many think that, okay, give me information, I will tell in front of the board member. How can you tell? Because your communication, your ability to thinking is shaped by all of this. Your ability to coherent something, analyze something, is not based on the factual information do you have. It is shaped by the personality which you have. So first you have to fix these things. Then only the classes, this issues is coming, then how can I deal with the informations if there is an ongoing issues is going on. Let's say there is a flood like situations in many parts of Odisha. If you are the Tehsildar or maybe the BDO, what should be your course of actions? Then you start talking about point number one, point number two, that is the mains writing thinking. But personality thinking would be a little bit of different. And personality thinkings cannot be point format, it should be a complete sentence. So you have to make a sentence. And how do you make a sentence? When you are able to comprehend yourself. You start an answer, give them information or the required details, and conclude accordingly. And it will come with a lot of training. Okay, so these are the things. This is your homework as I have shown you, and I have given certain few questions, practice questions. If you are given the power, just ask yourself, okay, these are the questions. If you were given the power to change one thing about our country, what would it be? These are thought-provoking questions. What is your opinion on reservations policies in India? Thought-provoking questions. Okay, try to answer these questions. There are also some other documents which later stage I will upload to the I would say this drive. For example, let me just show you a couple of things. Orientation, interview questions, issue-based questions. This is a PDF of almost 6 pages. Mock interview questions on subject-wise, polity, governance, what type of questions, geography, what type of questions. So I'm going to share with you in due course of time. Nothing to worry about it. Economy, what type of questions? Okay, issue based questions. Almost you can see this is polity, probable questions. Then similarly other subjects are also there. L4, L5, IGP. Okay. UPSC on general economy questions. Okay. So these are the certain probable economy questions which last time I had prepared. L6, L5, L6. Hobbies. What kind of questions can be asked from hobbies? What are hobbies? Understand importance of hobbies in interviews. What are hobbies? Understand the importance of hobbies, etc. So there is a detailed document. Then there is geography questions. There is also another document on body language. Understanding what is body language, what is eye contact, gesture, posture, bad posture, smile, how much smile, mirror the interview, cross arm, tone of the voice, body movement, crossing the leg, touching your face. Now, all of these are attribution of the personality. So, it will come with due course of time. We are going to discuss one by one. Now, having said so, all of you should be aware about this one, isn't it? The biodata form or the CIA form. You can also download it from the OPSC interview. How to fill the biodata, how to fill, probably this is not the right time. At later stage, once we have 2 to 3 classes, I will come to this one. Because filling biodata is not necessary now. Remember point. How do I fill the biodata? There are a couple of informations are there. We are going to take another class. Maybe me or somebody else, some of the officers will come and they will explain you how to fill up the biodata form and etc. But do not, as I say, first thing you should keep in your mind is not to go directly to the final stage. We should go step by step, one by one. First, identify the SWOT analysis, identify your issues, areas, and problems. Then we will talk about the attributes of the personality. We are going to talk about different subject-wise classes related current affairs, either it is general studies class or current affairs class. Okay, and also there will be this year another addition is the communication part. Last year we did not add the communication part, a dedicated member or expert just to help you in communication. So this time there will be a person, a resource person, especially to help you in the communication part. All right. So that's all about today. Now please ask your questions. Online students, Silva, Vishnu, Abhinas, Lipsa. Okay, many of you are there. Yes, rest of the students, please ask any questions if you have. Sir, I have no specific habit. So, is the idea to mention habit and then hobbies and practice habit? Hobbies. See, normally what happens? This is the issue majority aspirants do have. So first, identify the SWOT, and that will give inspiration for hobbies. Okay. So when we will talk one to one, then we will identify. It cannot be possible that you do not have any hobby. It cannot be possible. Even though you do not practice any hobby, not practicing hobbies and not having hobbies are different. You may not be practicing hobbies. So it could be I'm listening. Yes, yes, yes. That sort of things. We will come. This will come in a one-to-one. It cannot be random with everyone. This will come in one-to-one. We will talk about the hobbies based on your profile. When I'll come to know about your strength and etc. etc. Then also when we discuss, I will try to analyze your CIA form. What do you do? What is your education? Where do you come from? Okay, what is your employment criteria? What are your hobbies? When I talk to you personally, then we will identify, okay, you have 3 or 4 things, so you should keep these hobbies and you can avoid these hobbies. So it will come at later stage. We will do that. All right. Any other questions? Now again, you come to the same question which I have told. Do not focus on academic related things. Now, as I told, do not mug up the current affairs. Do not mug up the JS studies. It's not about what, it is about how. What is your optional? Sociology. What is your master's? Astrophysics, your master's, isn't it? So, astrophysics and sociology both are different to each other. But when we talk about in the CIF sessions, I will give you certain guidance. What kind of questions can be from astrophysics? There could be questions on astrophysics because of the recent happenings, and what are the questions related to sociology? We have list of optional based questions also we do have, but do not focus on what questions. First, develop the personality to communicate, to answer. If the question comes on astrophysics or anything, or maybe the sociology, uh, are you able to answer? If you are able to answer 4 or 5 questions on how, then I don't think there will be issues on what. Okay, so for the time being, focus on developing your communication, developing how do you present yourself. And to all of you, I would advise one thing: introduce yourself is the question that cannot be asked, never be asked in the OPSA board. But you should ask yourself, introduce this introduction question in front of the mirror. Now, this is the time I would highly advise to all of you, make a group. Okay, do not make a group more than 3, because more than 3, it is not group, it is a crowd. So all of you, online and offline, in the group, uh, mingle with each other, at least 3 member minimum. And what you should do in a group, I would advise 1 or 2 things. Number one, as an individual, what can you do? As an individual, stand in front of the mirror and explain either in Odia or either in English. If you are going to give the interview in English, explain in English continuously for 5 minutes. Any topic, anything. Can be an essay, can be hobby, can be of any interest, anything. Can be your subject. Explain continuously in English or Hindi in front of the mirror. Look at yourself, eye contact. In the mirror, look at yourself and explain. Okay, that is one thing I can tell. Second thing, I would highly advise, first is mirror practice. Second, I would highly advise is record yourself. Okay, why mirror practice? Normally what happens in interview board member, eye contact is essential. Like I am looking at you. But sometimes what happens, I have seen this particular problem. When we talk to people, we do not make an eye contact. We feel underconfident because of some reason. Or maybe we never practice about it. So it is not a disease, first of all, it's not a disease. It is just that you are not practicing that. So when you make a mirror practice, this problem will go away. Number one. Number two, record yourself. Record means the video camera. Okay. You face to something or maybe any directions. Keep a mobile in the video caller mode, the video recording. Explain on any topic, whatever you feel, or you talk about yourself itself. Record that and listen. Then you will be able to understand what is your facial gestures. I have seen some of the students. You are not. Last time there was a candidate. The person was blinking continuously. Every word like this. But the person was not aware that he has this issue. When we identified, when I was having an CIF analysis, he was blinking continuously. I asked that, do you have any issue related to it? And no, sir. That why are you blinking? No, I am not blinking. Then I told him, do one thing, record yourself. You go home and record yourself by telling something. He then, sir, I mean, you said something. I never realized that I had this issue. Probably nobody talked about it. Okay, so record yourself. Not only facial expression, but also you'll be able to understand how am I communicating. Am I doing certain mistakes in communications? How is my facial expressions? Am I being rude? Am I smiling or am I laughing? Am I looking like I'm under stress? So record yourself. Third, most important, another point I would say, make a group, at least 3 members. Okay, not more than 3 members. And what you should in 3 member group? Communicate. Communicate. It's a typical problem, let me tell you. In social media, Telegram, everybody is a warrior. In WhatsApp groups, everyone is a warrior. Everyone will try to present as if they have a lot of knowledge. So please avoid texting each other. Texting each other is not going to help you in interview. What I mean, maybe you have a Zoom call. If you are not physically present, well and good. If you are not physically present, make a Zoom call, camera on, verbally discuss, not typing. Typing is not going to help you. So for the time being, please, you can do these things. Number one, mirror practice. Number two, record yourself, try to analyze and improvise. And number three, make a group, 2 to 3 people. Discuss on any topics, maybe on subject specific, but not text based discussion. It should be a video based discussion or one-to-one physical discussion. Physical discussion would be much more helpful. And in that discussion, have as much criticisms as you can. Do not try to please others, because ultimately you have to remember you are competing with each other. So now you help each other, but at real interview you are competing with each other. With few marks, 1, 2, 3 marks, people are getting out of the list. But that doesn't mean that I will not help anyone. If you help, then only you will be getting helped. So these are the 3 things for the time being you should focus. Okay. Please, please. Hmm. Hindi should not be the practice. Okay. In interview, normally सेठी कौन हुए मुझे कही दूँगी interview board member तो definitely समाने English रे start करेंगे. And starting question cannot be like introduce yourself. ଆପଣଙ୍କର CI ଫର୍ମ ରେ ପ୍ରଥମ ପେଜ ଟା ହେଉଛି ଏଜୁକେସନ ଲେଖା ହେଇଥାଏ ସେଠି. ସେମାନେ କହିବେ ଓକେ you have done from XYZ school or college, suppose PG or masters, tell me something about this. এইଭଳି ସାଧାରଣତଃ ଇଣ୍ଟରଭ୍ୟୁ ଷ୍ଟାର୍ଟ ହୁଏ. ଓକେ, ସୋ ଯଦି ଲାଗୁଛି ଯେ ଆପଣମାନେ ଇଂରାଜୀରେ ଫ୍ଲୁଏଣ୍ଟଲି ତାଙ୍କୁ ବୁଝେଇ ପାରିବେନି, ସୁଇଚ୍ ଟୁ ଓଡ଼ିଆ. ବଟ୍ ମୁଁ ଗୋଟେ ଜିନିଷ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ କହି ରଖୁଛି, ଇଟ୍ସ ଓକେ, ନୋ ପ୍ରବ୍ଲେମ୍, କିଛି ସେଥିରେ ଅସୁବିଧା ନାହିଁ. ସେ ଓଡ଼ିଆ ମିଡ଼ିୟମ ହଉ କିମ୍ବା ଇଂଲିଶ ମିଡ଼ିୟମ ହଉ, ଏବେ ତ ଇଣ୍ଟରଭ୍ୟୁ ପାଇଁ ବି ଓଡ଼ିଆ ଆଣ୍ଡ ଇଂଲିଶ ହେଇଛି, ବଟ୍ ଇଂଲିଶ ମିଡ଼ିୟମ ପିଲା ଓଡ଼ିଆ ମିଡ଼ିୟମ ତ ଓଡ଼ିଆରେ ସମ୍ପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ କଥା ହେଇପାରିବ, କିଛି ଅସୁବିଧା ନାହିଁ. ବଟ୍ ହ୍ୱାଟ୍ ଆବାଉଟ୍ ଇଂଲିଶ ମିଡ଼ିୟମ? ଯଦି ଇଂଲିଶ ମିଡ଼ିୟମ ଚୁଜ୍ କରାହେଇଛି ବଟ୍ ଗୋଟେ ଜିନିଷ ଇଂଲିଶରେ ବୁଝେଇ ପାରୁନ, ସୁଇଚ୍ ଟୁ ଓଡ଼ିଆ. ଭାବନି ଯେ ଏଥିପାଇଁ ମୋର ନେଗେଟିଭ ମାର୍କିଂ କିଛି ହବ, ବିଲକୁଲ ହବନି. আর ତା ମାନେ ନୁହଁ ଯେ ତୁମେ 50-50% କରିକି ଇଂଲିଶ ଏବଂ ଓଡ଼ିଆ, ଯୋଉଟା ସାଧାରଣତଃ କ'ଣ ହୁଏ ନୂଆ ନୂଆରେ ଯୋଉମାନେ ଭୁବନେଶ୍ୱର ଆସନ୍ତି, ଦେ ୱିଲ୍ ଟ୍ରାଏ ଟୁ ଶୋ କେସ୍. ବିଲକୁଲ ବି ଶୋ କେସ୍ କରିବା ଦରକାର ନାହିଁ. ଇଂଲିଶ ଏବଂ ଓଡ଼ିଆର ଅର୍ଥ ମ୍ୟାକ୍ସିମମ୍ ତୁମେ ଇଂଲିଶ ୟୁଜ୍ କର ଆଣ୍ଡ ମଝିରେ ମଝିରେ ଓଡ଼ିଆର 2-3ଟା ଟର୍ମ ୟୁଜ୍ କରିପାରିବ, କିମ୍ବା ମ୍ୟାକ୍ସିମମ୍ ତୁମେ ଓଡ଼ିଆ ୟୁଜ୍ କର, ଇଂଲିଶ ମଝିରେ ମଝିରେ 2-3ଟା ଟର୍ମ ୟୁଜ୍ କର. ବଟ୍ ଷ୍ଟେଟମେଣ୍ଟ ସୁଡ୍ ନଟ୍ ବି ଲାଇକ୍ ମୁଁ ସେଇଠି ଯାଇଥିଲି, but what I observe, English, ମୁଁ ସେଇଠି ଯାଇଥିଲି ଓଡ଼ିଆ, but what I observe English. এইଭଳି ଇଂଲିଶ ବିଲକୁଲ ୟାକୁ ଶୋ ଅଫ୍ ଇଂଲିଶ କୁହାଯାଏ. ଇଏ ବିଲକୁଲ ଶୋ ଅଫ୍ କରିବା ପାଇଁ, ଜଣକୁ ଇଂଲିଶ ଆସୁନି ସେ ଶୋ ଅଫ୍ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଚାହୁଁଛି ଇଂଲିଶ, এইଭଳି ଇଂଲିଶ କହିବନି. ଇଂଲିଶରେ କହୁଛ କମ୍ପ୍ଲିଟଲି, ମେ ବି ମଝିରେ ମଝିରେ ଗୋଟେ ଗୋଟେ ଓଡ଼ିଆ ସେଣ୍ଟେନ୍ସ କହିଲ, କିମ୍ବା ଓଡ଼ିଆରେ ସମ୍ପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ କୁହ, ଗୋଟେ ଗୋଟେ ଇଂଲିଶ ୱାର୍ଡ କୁହ, ଇଟ୍ସ ଓକେ. ଇଟ୍ କ୍ୟାନ୍ ବି 70-30, 70 ଓଡ଼ିଆ 30 ଇଂଲିଶ, 70 ଇଂଲିଶ 30 ଓଡ଼ିଆ, କ୍ୟାନ୍ ବି ପସିବଲ୍. ଠିକ ଅଛି, ବଟ୍ ଫୋର୍ସଫୁଲି ଗୋଟେ ଜିନିଷ କୁହନି. ଯଦି ଇଂଲିଶରେ ତମେ କନଫିଡେଣ୍ଟ ନୁହଁ, ଫୋର୍ସଫୁଲି ଟ୍ରାଏ କରନି ଯେ ଇଂଲିଶରେ କହିବା ପାଇଁ. ଆଉ ଏମିତି ବି ନୁହଁ ଯେ ଯୋଉମାନେ ବୋର୍ଡ ମେମ୍ବର ଅଛନ୍ତି ସେମାନେ ବି ଫ୍ଲୁଏଣ୍ଟ ରେ ଇଂଲିଶ ରେ ସେମିତି ବିଲକୁଲ ବି ନୁହଁ। ହଁ ଓଡ଼ିଆରେ ଚେଞ୍ଜ କରିଦବ, ଓଡ଼ିଆରେ ଚେଞ୍ଜ କରିଦବ। ଗୋଟେ ଜାଗାରେ ତମେ ରହିଗଲ, ଇଂଲିଶରେ କହୁଛ ରହିଗଲ, ତମେ ମାଇଣ୍ଡକୁ ସେଇ ଶବ୍ଦ ଆସୁନି, ଆସିବନି, ହୁଏ ସେଗୁଡ଼ା ସବୁ। ତ ସେଇ ସମୟରେ କଣ କରିବ, ଓଡ଼ିଆରେ ସୁଇଚ୍ କରିଦବ। ଫର୍ଷ୍ଟ ଟାଇମ୍ ପଚାର, ଯଦି ଫର୍ଷ୍ଟ ଟାଇମ୍ ତମେ ସୁଇଚ୍ କରୁଛ, ସେକେଣ୍ଡ ଆଇ ଆନ୍ସର ଇନ୍ ମୁଁ ଓଡ଼ିଆରେ ଆନ୍ସର ଦେଇପାରିବି, ସେମାନେ ହଁ ହିଁ କହିବେ, ମନା କରିବେନି। ବଟ୍ ବାରମ୍ବାର ପଚାରିବା ଦରକାର। ଥରେ ପଚାରିଦେଲ ଠିକ୍ ଅଛି, ନେକ୍ସଟ ଟାଇମ୍ ଯଦି ତମେ ଇଂଲିଶରେ କହୁଛ ପୁଣି ଆଉଥରେ ସୁଇଚ୍ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଚାହୁଁଛ, ଦେନ୍ ତମେ ଇମିଡିଏଟଲି ତମେ ଓଡ଼ିଆରେ ସୁଇଚ୍ କରିବ, ସେଠି ଇଂଲିଶ ପରମିଶନ ନେବା ବିଲକୁଲ ଦରକାର ନାହିଁ। ଠିକ୍ ଅଛି, ଲାଙ୍ଗୁଏଜ ଇଜ ଅ ୱେ ୟୁ ଏକ୍ସପ୍ରେସ, ସେଠି ତୁମର ଇଂଲିଶର ଟେଷ୍ଟ ହଉନି। ବଟ୍ ହଁ, ଗ୍ରାମାଟିକାଲି ମିଷ୍ଟେକ୍ ଯେମିତି ନ ହଉ, ବେସିକ୍ ଜିନିଷ ଗୁଡ଼ା ଯେମିତି ନ ଥିବା ଦରକାର। ୟେସ୍, ବିଷ୍ଣୁପ୍ରିୟା କ'ଣ ପଚାରୁଥିଲା, ଜଣେ ମର୍ଣ୍ଣିଂ ରେଡ଼ି ହେଇ ଅଫିସ୍ ଯାଏ ଏବଂ ଇଭିନିଂ ରିଟର୍ନ କରେ। ବିଷ୍ଣୁପ୍ରିୟା, ମୁଁ ବୁଝିପାରିଲିନି ତମର କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ କ'ଣ? ବୁଝିପାରିଲେନି ବିଷ୍ଣୁପ୍ରିୟା, ୟୁ କ୍ୟାନ୍ ଏକ୍ସପ୍ଲେନ୍ ୟୋର କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍। ଓକେ, ଠିକ୍ ଅଛି, ଆଉ କିଛି ସେ ସବୁ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ଆନ୍ସର ଆମେ ପରେ କଥା ହେବା, ଆଗେ ଏଇ ସବୁ ଜିନିଷ ହେଇସାରୁ। ଓକେ, 2-3ଟା କ୍ଲାସ୍ ପରେ ଆସିବ, ମୁଁ କଥା ହେବି ତାପରେ। ସିଆଇ ଫର୍ମଟା ମୁଁ କହିବି ଯୋଉଦିନ ମୁଁ କ୍ଲାସ୍ ନେବି, ସିଆଇ ଫର୍ମ ଆନାଲିସିସ୍ କେମିତି କରାଯାଏ, ସେଇ ସମୟରେ ଏସବୁ ଜିନିଷ ଆମେ ଡିସ୍କସ୍ କରିବା। ବିଷ୍ଣୁପ୍ରିୟା, we will talk, okay, separately ଆମେ କଥା ହେବା, କାରଣ ମୁଁ ତୁମ ବିଷୟରେ ଜାଣିନି ବିଲକୁଲ ବି, ଜାଣି ସାରିଲା ପରେ I can give you a better suggestion. All right, ଠିକ୍ ଅଛି। Anything else? ଆଉ କିଛି? Any questions? All right, so କିଛି ଆଇଡିଆ ମିଳିଲା ନା ବିଲକୁଲ ଜିରୋ? Did you understand कि कौन करिबा कौन नहीं? ମୁଁ କ୍ଲିୟର କଟ୍ ଗୋଟେ ରୋଡ ମ୍ୟାପ ବନେଇ ଦେଇଛି, ସो ଆମେ ଆଗକୁ ବଢିବା ସେଇଥିରୁ। ଆଣ୍ଡ ନେକ୍ସଟ ୱିକରେ ଆମେ କଣ୍ଟିନ୍ୟୁ କରିବା, ନେକ୍ସଟ ୱିକ୍ ବି କିଛିଟା ଆମେ କ୍ଲାसेସ୍ ରଖିବା। ଡୋଣ୍ଟ वरी, ଆଗକୁ ଯିବ। ଆଣ୍ଡ ଆଇ ଫିଲ୍ କନଫିଡେଣ୍ଟ ତୁମର ମେନ୍ସ ରେଜଲ୍ଟ ପୂର୍ବରୁ ବି ଆଟଲିଷ୍ଟ ମୁଁ ସେତିକି କରେଇଦେବି ଯେ ତୁମେ କନଫିଡେଣ୍ଟ ରହିବ, ନା ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ରଶ୍ନ ଆସୁଛି ଯଦି ମୁଁ ତାକୁ ଏକ୍ସପ୍ଲେନ୍ କେମିତି କରିବି, କମ୍ୟୁନିକେଟ୍ କେମିତି କରିବି। ଠିକ୍ ଅଛି, so these are things, କିଛିଟା later stage ରେ I will share a lot of things. ଇଣ୍ଟରଭ୍ୟୁରେ କ'ଣ କ'ଣ ସବୁ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ଅଛି ଆମେ କଥା ହେବା, ମୋର ଇଣ୍ଟରଭ୍ୟୁରେ ନଟ୍ ଇନ୍ OPSC, UPSCର ବି ମୁଁ କିଛିଟା ତୁମକୁ ସେୟାର କରିବି। ଓକେ, ହଁ, ରେଜଲ୍ଟ କଥା ତ ଗୋଟେ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ମାର୍କ ଅଛି, ବଟ୍ ମୁଁ ସେଟା ହିଁ କହିବି ଯେ ତାକୁ ଫୋକସ୍ କରନି, ବିକଜ ଏବେ ଏବେ ରୁହ, ଆଉ ସପ୍ତାହେ ତମେ ୱେଟ୍ କର, ତମର ୟୁଟ୍ୟୁବରେ ସବୁ ବାହାରିବ ରେଜଲ୍ଟ କେବେ ଆସିବ, ଏଇଭଳିଆ ଭିଡ଼ିଓ ସବୁ ଆସିବ। ତୁମମାନଙ୍କର ଏନ୍ଜାଇଟି, ବ୍ଲଡ୍ ପ୍ରେସର ବଢ଼େଇବା ପାଇଁ ଟେଲିଗ୍ରାମରେ ଡିସ୍କସନ୍ ଷ୍ଟାର୍ଟ ହେବ, ଆଉ ୟୁଟ୍ୟୁବରେ ଆସିବ ସବୁ। ପୂର୍ବ ଥର ବି ସେଇଭଳି ସବୁ ଆସିଥିଲା, ଆଜି ଆସିବ, କାଲି ଆସିବ, 4ଟା ବେଳେ ଆସିବ। ଯଦି ଆସିନି, ଅଫିସ୍ ବନ୍ଦ ଅଛି, ମୁଁ କଲ୍ କରିଥିଲି OPSCକୁ। ଏଇଭଳି ମୁଁ ଭୁଲ ଇନଫର୍ମେସନ୍ ତ ଦେବା ପାଇଁ ଚାହୁଁନି, ଅନନେସେସରି ତୁମର ବି ସେସବୁରେ ଫୋକସ୍ ରହିବା କଥା ନୁହଁ। ଚିଲ୍ କର, ଏବେ କ'ଣଟା ତମର ଚେଞ୍ଜ ହେଇଯିବ କୁହ ମୋତେ? ଯଦି କାଲି ତମର ରେଜଲ୍ଟ ଆସିବ, ଆଉ ମାସେ ପରେ ଯଦି ରେଜଲ୍ଟ ଆସିବ, ୟା ଭିତରେ କିଛି ଫରକ ହବ କି? ନା ତମର କାଲି ରେଜଲ୍ଟ ଯଦି ଆସିବ ଖରାପ କରିଦେବ, ମାସେ ପରେ ଆସିଲେ ଭଲ କରିବ, ସେମିତି କିଛି ଅଛି କି? ବିଲକୁଲ ନାହିଁ। ତ ଯେବେ ଆସିବ ଆସିବ, ଛାଡ଼ିଦିଅ। ଓକେ, ଆଉ ଏଇଭଳି ସେ ଇଣ୍ଟରଭ୍ୟୁ ଭିଡ଼ିଓ ବିଲକୁଲ ତମେ ଦେଖନି, ଆସିବ ଏଇନା ମାସେ, ସପ୍ତାହେ 2 ସପ୍ତାହ ପରେ ଷ୍ଟାର୍ଟ ହେଇଯିବ। ରେଜଲ୍ଟ ଆସିଲା, କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ମାର୍କ, ଏକ୍ସେଲେଣ୍ଟ ମାର୍କ, ଏହି ଦିନ ରେଜଲ୍ଟ ଆସିବ। ସମସ୍ତେ ଦେଖିବେ ଭିଡ଼ିଓରେ, ସିଏ ଗପ ଗାଇଥିବେ କି ଏତିକି ପିଲା କ୍ୱାଲିଫାଏ କଲେ, ମେନ୍ସ ଏମିତି ହେଇଥିଲା, ଏୟା ହେଇଥିଲା, ଏୟା ହେଇଥିଲା, ଲାଷ୍ଟକୁ ସେ ଗୋଟେ କିଛି ସେକେଣ୍ଡ ଥିବ, ସେ କହିବେ ଯେ ହଁ, ଭ୍ୟୁଜ୍ ବଢ଼େଇବା ପାଇଁ। OPSC ତରଫରୁ ମୁଁ କହିବି ଅପେକ୍ଷା କରନ୍ତୁ ଟିକେ। ତମେ ବଢ଼ିଆ ସେ ଭ୍ୟୁଜ୍ ବଢ଼େଇଲ, ତମେ ତାର ଭିଡ଼ିଓ ଦେଖିଲ, ତାଙ୍କୁ ପଇସା କମେଇବାକୁ ଦେଲ, ଲାଷ୍ଟକୁ କ'ଣ ହେଲା? ତମ ବ୍ରେନ୍ ପ୍ରେସର କୁକର, ନା ରାତିରେ ଶୋଇପାରୁଥିବ, ନା କାହା ସହିତ ଗୋଟେ ଭଲରେ ଡିସ୍କସନ୍ କରିପାରୁଥିବ, ଏତେ ଏନ୍ଜାଇଟି ହେଇଯାଏ। ଆଉ ସେଇଟା ତୁମର ବି ଭୁଲ ନାହିଁ, ମୁଁ ତୁମମାନଙ୍କର ଭୁଲ ବୋଲି କହିବିନି, ସେ ଏନଭାୟରମେଣ୍ଟ ସେମିତି କ୍ରିଏଟ୍ ହେଇଥିବ ଯେ ତମେ ବି ଫ୍ଲୋରେ ସବୁ ପଳେଇବ। ବଟ୍ ଫିର୍ ବି ଟ୍ରାଏ କର ଟିକେ ଆଭଏଡ୍ କରିବା ପାଇଁ, ଠିକ୍ ଅଛି? Okay, thank you everyone.